yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack to me,
yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack
It's
to me.
the WACCast podcast, yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack to me,
yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack to me. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is up, black people? Hey everybody, how you doing today? I hope everything's amazing for you all as always. I am your host, the Honorable OCT Octavius Haye, and this is the WACCast podcast. So before we get started with the episode, please, if you are listening on YouTube, to like us, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're always notified when new videos drop on the channel, and leave a comment. And if you're listening to us on one of the platforms for a podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast, please make sure to follow us so you're notified when new episodes of the podcast drop. Now, with that being said, you ready to talk whack to him? Well, let's talk whack to him. Okay, so I guess I want to put a nice little bow on this Will Smith thing for the time being. I'm sure there's going to be more things coming out over the next few weeks, but for the time being, put a nice little bow on this Will Smith slapping Chris Rock issue. So pretty much, let's look at the fallout. Let's look at everything that happened with this. So Will Smith slaps Chris Rock, and now nobody cares that he won his first Oscar. You know, there were talks that he might get his Oscar taken from him. It doesn't look like that's going to happen anymore, but at first they were talking about suspending him from the Oscars for a few years. Now the threat of expulsion completely from being able to be nominated from the Oscars has come up. He stepped down from being an Academy member. He's had a few films be stopped. You know, like Bad Boys 4 and some other projects he was working on have been paused. Now, those will probably come back to pick back up once all the heat dies over. But again, with all these issues, with all these problems, I just have to look at the men and women who are applauding what he did and say, was that 2-second joke about a G.I. Jane worth all this drama just for the right to say, hey, I quote unquote protected my wife from a lazy joke? And the messed up thing is, there's still going to be some people who say, yeah, he was still right, whatever the consequences are. And there's a lot of women who would say that. And today I say, you don't care about what this man has built. And again, people stay away from women like this. They don't care about what you built. They're willing to watch your world burn if it means you, quote unquote, stood up for them, even with the minorest of things. Something that could have been talked out, but they want to see a black man be aggressive and rough over anything because they're the woman, right? They're the delicate woman. Save black women, right? Or protect black women. And I do believe in protecting black women, but that doesn't mean that you could just get away with anything happening because, quote unquote, a black woman was protected. What you know? What was the issue? What happened? What caused you to do this? Was it worth it? Did the punishment fit the crime? Oh, you bald headed, so you gonna be in the next G.I. Jane movie? That's crazy. And all the people talking about it was wrong for him to make fun of her disease. All the reports I'm hearing is he did not know. He did not know that she had that. I've even heard people say that he may not have known, but still. No, if he didn't know, there is no but still. He didn't know. And it's nothing wrong with not knowing and being told and then, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I apologize. You can apologize for something even if you didn't know, but that doesn't mean that you should be attacked on national television where your family has to see you be violated. You know, his brother, his kids. And it's just sad to see that so many people are still like, yeah, Will, he deserved that. Or Chris Rock deserved that. Will should have done that. It's really sad to see that. It doesn't matter what happens to this man. You guys are going to celebrate him doing something, assaulting another man over something so minor because his wife was upset about a joke. And even if the joke was in bad taste, it wasn't an overly offensive joke. It wasn't calling out her name or anything like that. It was making fun of her being bald. And I don't think he knew about her alopecia, whatever the heck it's called. I still don't know what the word is called. I didn't know she had it. Chris Rock is 10,000 times busier than me. I'm sure he didn't know. And I think there's even been said he didn't know. But again, so many people will justify this negative behavior. And that is scary. And Will Smith is facing the consequences. I hope he does get healing. And I hope he does learn something from this. And I hope he does get punished for this. Because he was wrong. It was all wrong. So coming out of the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock altercation, there were a lot of comedians saying that there was a fear that comedians would be attacked, that Will Smith had pretty much given the green light, the okay, for you to assault a comedian if they told a joke that you found offensive, that you didn't like. And a lot of comedians were voicing their concerns about that. That could be there was already a threat, that was already something that was common, and that it may intensify following Will Smith being able to slap Chris Rock and sit down and nothing happened to him that night. Now, this brings us to T.I. Yes, I know T.I. has been doing comedy, but he was not the comedian this night. There was a female comedian who I guess had been making jokes about, if you remember, T.I. and his wife were accused of sexually assaulting women or something like that, to that degree, where the women were coming out saying they were, I don't know if they were forcing themselves on them or just assaulting them or whatever it was, but it was maybe drugging them. I don't know. But it was just, claims of assault sexually. And yeah, she was making jokes about that. So T.I. took it upon himself to interrupt her show, grab a microphone and start going off and saying, about there was no case, there was no charges filed against him and his wife. It's not true. And to which, and then, he started going on about a lot of stuff I've been hearing lately about, we attacking black people, why we attacking each other, yada, yada, yada. And T.I. was saying this to the woman, and then the woman says, well, I support black people, I love black people, you're not going to put that on my name, but, when something goes out that's public, it's fair game for comedy, which T.I. didn't agree with. I felt like he overreacted. He got up on the stage, he, grabbed, hugged her, forced himself to hug on her, and then snatched the mic out of her hand, just acting real childish, something you wouldn't expect from a seasoned veteran like T.I. You wouldn't expect someone like him to handle himself like that over these jokes. Now, I get it. That is a very serious accusation. That is something that you don't really want to be associated with. People saying, "Oh, you are assaulting women or sexually forcing yourself on these women." I understand that. That's fair game. But what she says is true. I mean, once you're a public figure and stories are made public and they're making headlines, you can make jokes about that. And people make jokes about that all the time. We have Whitney Houston cracked jokes for days. We have Michael Jackson pedophile jokes for days. We have R. Kelly sex cult jokes, sex abuse jokes for days, pedophile jokes as well. So, yeah, that's the way it's always been. Comedians get to do that. Yeah. One of the things I'm not liking, though, is this narrative that is, you're attacking black people, why we always got to attack each other. And I think that's just a trash argument because, first of all, black comedians are well known for making fun of white people, comparing white people to black people and how white people are lesser than, or making fun of white people for getting away with stuff. There's been tons of all these same comedians that you guys want to trash on. You want to trash on Chris Rock for talking about black people. You want to trash on this female comedian. I don't know her work, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure she's made fun of white celebrities' stories as well. But But Chris Rock is definitely make fun of white people. Dave Chappelle makes fun of white people. They make fun of everybody. It's like that comedian said, the one who T.I. interrupted. It's fair game. It is. It's all fair game. And if you don't like that, maybe you should get out of the public eye. I'm just not liking. I hate when blackness is used as an excuse to be an asshole, because I'm pretty sure we can find clips of T.I. making fun of black people, making fun of other black people, joking about their situations, and not having a problem with it. So what I don't like is like this whole Will Smith talking about going, or not Will Smith, but people, the fans talking about, you going at a black woman, you going at black people. I'm seeing in comments, I even saw T.I. say, why is it always us against us? And I think that's ridiculous. It's not. It's about, you're the celebrity, and this is a topic that people know about, that is relatable, that most people will get what I'm talking about, and I'm going to make a joke out of it, and I'll do that to anybody. And it's really, for the celebrities, it's an excuse. You just don't want them to make fun of you. Like, you're not mad about them making jokes about black people. It's just they made a joke about you. So you're going to use the black card to use as an excuse for why you're just sensitive and don't want nobody talking about you in a negative way. You want the publicity, but not in a negative way. And again, like I said, I understand the accusations are serious, but they were public accusations, and comedians are going to talk about topics that are, well known. It's easier to get the joke if you understand what they're talking about. And I just think he handled that situation wrong. Get up on that stage, grabbing the mic out of hand, just showing his backside. Not, he ain't really showed. I'm just saying, like, he's being a jerk. And going up on that stage and doing that was not the way to handle it. T.I. is a way better dude than that. And we need to stop using our blackness as an excuse for just say you vain and you don't want, or just say you don't like people joking about you, and get up and leave, walk away, do old school stuff, blackball her, don't support her, don't tell people not to mess with her, but get up on there and doing that, especially to a female. And I am the biggest person against. I'm a female, so, but yeah, I'm the biggest person against that. I don't like females using that as an excuse. I feel like a lot of times women, they like, I'm a woman, I'm a black woman, they use that as an excuse for, I can just be a jerk or do whatever I want to, and you can't do nothing about it. But in this instance, yes, that is a woman, man. You being way too aggressive. It's a comedy show. It's jokes. It's fair game. 100% agree. She had every right to make a joke about that. T.I., you were wrong, dead wrong. And now you trying to get into comedy. You can't be no comedian if you acting like that. So the Grammys happened, and a lot of people, I feel like, did deserve awards, got them. Silk Sonic, they killed it. In the awards, Kanye won some, even though he ain't show up, or I guess he was dropped from the Grammys this year. He still won a few awards. Let's see, Tyler the Creator won an award. John Baptiste, who works on whatever show that Stephen Colbert does, whichever one of them late night shows, he's in the band on that. He won some awards too. Nas gave a performance. He did one mic, killed that. Doja Cat and SZA, they won an award too for their song together. Now, of course, Doja's talking about she quitting rap. She was very emotional, in her acceptance speech. Really was appreciative of it. So I'm hoping that this makes her change her mind. She's still talking like she's still gonna quit, saying she's finishing everything before she's just finishing all her prior commitments and just finishing up the videos she got to drop, and then she done. Hopefully, winning this award makes her change her mind and realize she does have love and she is appreciated. But my biggest thing about this award show is like, what happened to Jay Prince's? Jay Prince wanted all these big time celebrities to, let's go ahead and have our own concert during the award show to take our ball away. Nicki Minaj, she said respect. She was the only one who made a statement publicly, I believe. But the other artists that he dropped, that he mentioned, they didn't say anything, and no other artists were saying anything, and nothing happened. So again, especially in hip hop, a lot of hip hop artists feel like they aren't respected or appreciated at the Grammys, and they're all just lumped into the hip hop category, no matter what type of music they're making. When somebody comes to you and tries to offer a solution and you're too lazy to do anything, then I don't really know why you're complaining. So if the Grammys do anything next time, you can't say there wasn't somebody trying to give you another option. That you can't say there wasn't something you could have done to show them that they need to respect you. I think all you've shown is that all your complaints are just going to be complaints, lip service, all bark, no bite. So there's really no incentive for them to make any changes. Really no incentive for them to try to appease you and make sure that they're getting it right and respecting your art and categorizing it and with the correct place. And you're just probably going to be upset forever because you've shown them that. Unfortunately, that died out pretty much as soon as it started. And another part of the reason why Jay Prince wanted to do it was to go against the prison system and a boycott of that, and also a boycott of the way the artists were being treated. So I think they just kind of show right there, they just like to complain. Okay, now, so the Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez drama continues. Now, this all started from when academics dropped that Meg Thee Stallion, or that Tory's DNA there was no conclusive evidence showing that the DNA on the gun it could not say that it matched Tory's, and he put that out there. Meg accused Tory's team of telling him that, so they went to court, and that was one of the big topics. That, and then also the judge was saying that Tory Lanez, he's not supposed to have any contact with Meg Thee Stallion, be talking to her. A few of the comments he posted on social media, they were saying where, even though he didn't add her or mention her name, they felt like they were a response to her in the situation. So they were telling him, he's not supposed to talk about the case at all. He can't talk about the case at all. And he was arrested, and he had to be a post bail. I think another $300,000 that he had to post, which probably bail bonds, it was less than that, but they handcuffed him in court and took him away. He had to post bail from those statements. Now, academics is saying that Meg's own team and Rock Nation are the one who informed him that the DNA, they tested DNA, was inconclusive to match, it didn't match Tory. He said Rock Nation told him, not Tory. He said Tory did not tell him at all. But what I really want to touch on is the fact that Tory Lanez, that the judge got mad at him for telling his side of the story and speaking his truth to power, even if it was vague. He can't let his truth be heard. He can't talk. Meanwhile, Meg Thee Stallion is going on all of these type of rants about what he did. He did this, he did that, he did this, and like just saying all these things. She's giving her side of the story. She's recounting events, talking about little side things that led to, about, she talked about, him messing with her and her friend. She's talking about he shot her, giving details of the night, what happened, and he can't offer any rebuttal. So in the court of public opinion, he's pretty much, he's got both arms tied behind his back in this fight. I don't think that's fair. I think that if he can't say anything, then you need to have some type of, well, Meg, you can't say anything either, because you are really swaying, things to go a certain way. If he can't speak, if he can't defend himself, and his name's being dragged through the mud, what's going to happen? He's not saying nothing. She's saying all this stuff. It's going to automatically make everybody think he's guilty. And if he's found not guilty, then people are going to be going off and mad at the justice system. And, that might even be fair because they aren't able to hear Tory's side. And even when Tory tries in the smallest amount to say, hey, I'm innocent, this isn't right. I didn't do this. Meg's dropping text messages that he sent her apologizing. He can't even explain what those apologies are for. And his name is being thrown through the mud. That's not fair to me. I don't think that's fair. And I think what we're seeing right now is how the justice system works for people, especially black people or just say men. it's against us and it's always for the women. And look, I don't know what happened. He may have shot her. He may be guilty and he may deserve all of this. But right now, we don't know that. It has not been decided in a court of law. But all we know is we are able to get Meg's side of the story. She can come out any day and give details about her side of the story. And Tory cannot even respond to that. He cannot even deny the claims that she's making. Or he's going to, he's looking at it. He had to pay an additional bond to get out of jail. That's ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. I don't think it's fair. I know that Meg isn't the one on trial, and she's not the one even. She didn't sue or anything. This is the state that are seeking to put him in jail for this crime. So I understand from that to a certain point of degree because she's not on trial. Because she's not on trial, I understand that they probably limited what they can do to her. But her team's getting involved. They're bringing evidence. They're working with the prosecutor. So maybe they should be able to say something to her. Or at the very least, they should say he's not allowed to initiate anything, but he can respond to what you're saying. If you make a public statement accusing him of this crime, saying that he did it, he has the right to respond to whatever, only to what you said. I think that would be fair. But to say that he can't say anything and Meg is able to just go out there and tell her whole story and get everybody on her side and ride the sympathy wave, I do not think it's fair for somebody who has not been convicted and somebody you're not finding evidence on. This is not just an open shut case, as we are seeing. I think that it's not right that his voice is being silenced at a time where his name is being dragged through the mud and he's being accused of some heinous acts. He should have a right to defend himself in public, just like Meg is. It's my personal opinion. But this is the case of the podcast. The podcast started pretty much when this thing was red hot. And we was getting new details every week. Details are coming a little slower, but when they come, they're big events. I know a lot of people say they're tired of this case. I'm tired of how long it's taking, but I'm still wanting to know what's going to happen at the end of this thing. So anytime there's new information about this, I'm always going to go ahead and report on it on the podcast. I just don't like the way this situation is being handled and how Tory is pretty much silent while his integrity and his character are being called out in such a heinous way. So that's the show for today. Thank you all so much for tuning in and listening, getting into this whack wisdom, and I hope that you return next week to get a little bit more of that from me. Again, if you are listening to this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell. All the other platforms that have the podcast, follow us so you get updated whenever I drop new content. And again, that's all. This is the WACCast podcast, and I am whacking off.
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack
It's
to me.
the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.